Hello, Legionnaires, and welcome to 10-Minute Introductions, the series where we provide a 10,000-foot overview of a game or game system and try to do it in 10 minutes or less. So, let's get started. In this episode, I'm going to take a look at a TSR game that is not Dungeons & Dragons, and that game is Alternity Science Fiction Role-Playing Game, or just Alternity. If you like these 10-minute introductions, please be sure to like, subscribe, ding-a-ling that bell icon, and share this video. Alternity includes a set of non-Dungeons & Dragons game mechanics that allow you to play in any type of science fiction setting, with Star Drive being the official campaign setting. Alternity makes use of the standard set of polyhedral dice, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 20-sided dice. From this set of dice, 2 dice are used, a control die and a situation die. The control die is always a d20. Sometimes the control die is rolled by itself, but usually it is rolled in conjunction with a situation die. Since rolling lower is better in Alternity, a +1 situational step penalty adds a d4 to the d20 roll, while a -1 situational step bonus subtracts a d4 from the d20 roll. Step 2 is a d6, step 3 is a d8, and so on. Alright, now that we have that clear, let's make a character. The book does a really good job of walking you through the character creation process. It's not a lengthy process, but it is involved. And to its credit, every aspect of character creation has meaningful impact on gameplay at some point. The first thing you want to do is come up with a character concept, which is nothing more than, what do you want your character to do? From there, all of your choices should lead in that direction. Next, you'll choose your character species. Like with all good games, humans can be anything. From there, the Game Master will determine which, if any, alien species are available in your game. The core book comes with some interesting species, or your setting may have its own, or none. After you know your character species, it's time to pick your career and profession. There are 4 professions and 26 careers listed under those professions. Soldiers to ambassadors to gamblers to hackers and many more. There's a 5th optional profession, the Mindwalkers or Space Psychics. Your GM will let you know if that is available in your game. Each profession comes with a special benefit and a set of skill recommendations, while the specific career provides the character a skill package, as well as some free points to spend as the player desires, and some signature equipment to help adequately perform that profession. Alright, now you get to assign your ability scores. Alternity uses the common 6 Dungeons & Dragons ability scores, though Wisdom is now called Willpower and Charisma is now Personality. And you have 60 points to spread between those 6 ability scores. Each species has a minimum and maximum ability score. For example, humans have a range from 4 to 14 for all 6 ability scores. These ability scores become the default target number for skill checks that fall under that particular ability score. Also, Dexterity plus Intelligence creates the character's action score, known as Initiative in other games, which is rolled like a skill check but determines when the character acts in a round. The number of actions a character can perform in a round is based on the sum of the character's Constitution and Willpower ability scores. Wait, before you dump that personality score, you should know that it determines your character's last resort points, used to avoid potentially bad effects, a kind of karma or luck. Moving on to the skill selection, all characters start with 6 broad skills for free. The specific broad skills are based on the character's species. A broad skill is the umbrella skill for various specialty skills that fall underneath it. From there, your character's intelligence determines how many skill points the character has for additional skills, with humans receiving 5 more than other species. Just be sure to obtain the broad skill for any specialty skill first. Moving on, if you have extra skill points, or if you need a couple of extra skill points, you can obtain perks and flaws. Filthy Rich, Photographic Memory, Clueless, and Phobias are just a few examples. Attributes are motivations, attitudes, and traits to make your character more than just a spreadsheet. Motivation is a character's purpose in life. Is his purpose to help others, to stay alive, to discover new worlds, or something else? Moral attitude is the character's approach to life. Is the character a conformist, someone honorable, anti-authoritarian, or whatever. Traits represent the character's personality: follower, mysterious, skeptical, and many more. Players roll an action check to determine when the character acts during the round. Action checks work just like skill checks, which we will discuss in a moment, with amazing, good, ordinary, and failure, well, in this case marginal, outcomes. How well you roll determines the phase in which the character acts. An amazing check acts in phase 1, good in phase 2, ordinary in phase 3, and marginal in phase 4. While all characters that act in phase 1 go before characters that act in phase 2, all actions within a particular phase are considered simultaneous. Alternity uses a roll low success mechanic. The lower you roll, the better your chance of success. For any check, action, feat, skill, players roll a d20 control die. The result of this control die is typically modified by the situation die. The situation die represents the ease or difficulty of the action based on the current situation within the scene. A +1 step penalty requires a player to roll a d4 situation die along with the control die and add the results together. Remember, rolling low is better, so the addition of the d4 makes the check harder. On the other hand, a -3 step bonus requires the player to roll a d8 situation die and subtract that result from the d20 control die. That should increase your chance of success quite nicely. No matter the result of the situation die, the result of a 1 on the control die is an automatic success. The opposite is true if the control die comes up with a 20. There are 3 levels of success for each skill. If the result of the skill check is equal to or less than the skill score, the skill check is successful, or an ordinary success. If the skill check is equal to or less than half of the skill score, the skill check is a good success. And if the skill check is equal to or less than 1/4 of the skill score, the skill check is an amazing success. For example, if you have a skill score of 12, a roll of 12 or less is a success. A roll of 6 or less is a good success, and a roll of 3 or less is an amazing success. Moving this example forward, an ordinary hit with a laser pistol. Scroll down and we'll look at the laser pistol here. There it is right here. Laser pistol on the screen. Hopefully you can see that. An ordinary hit with a laser pistol inflicts a d4 + 1 wound damage. A good hit inflicts a d6 + 1 wound damage, and an amazing hit inflicts a d4 mortal damage. Uh-oh. Wounds only require some sort of first aid or medical attention to heal, and when the hero runs out of wound boxes, the character is simply knocked out. Mortal damage requires a doctor and surgery to repair, and when a hero runs out of mortal boxes, the character dies. Of course, armor can help reduce the amount of damage weapons inflict. Alternity itself is setting agnostic and can accommodate any science fiction or science fantasy setting, from true fantasy, though that's not its intent, to near and far future science fantasy. There are computers, weapons, and technology to span many different technological progress levels, as well as vehicles, spaceships, and cybernetics. Because it's an optional profession, and I have limited time in this video, I didn't go into psionics. However, if you like your science fiction with a dose of space magic, there are characters and rules for that as well. To date, this is actually the hardest 10-minute intro video I've made. Alternity packs a lot of information in such a comparatively small book. To give justice to the depth of Alternity can't be emulated here. Not to mention that I haven't played Alternity in nearly 20 years, and reconnecting with the system took a little longer than I had expected. Hopefully though, I've inspired you to take a look at the original TSR Alternity and give it a try with your friends. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Sharing is caring. I'm really interested in what you think of this series so far and look forward to reading your comments. Join Legion of Myth on the RPG Digest livestream every Sunday at 1 p.m. on YouTube. RPG Digest is a 3-segment live stream podcast. In Segment 1, fundamentals and overviews. In Segment 2, opinions and commentary. In Segment 3, you can call in and join us with your thoughts. On Friday evenings, usually somewhere around 9 p.m. Central, I chill out with you and with some other gamer nerds to talk about role-playing games and whatever nerd-related topic pops up. A fun conversation amongst friends within the hobby. And with that, I want to thank you very much for watching this, and I hope you have a wonderful day.